Steel boots stomping, crashing the floor. Two wild Yinzers kicking through the door. Loud like a jag off at a pins game fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. From the bug with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Rivers collide where the laughs always flow. Black and gold thunder everywhere they go. The madcap kings breaking every mold. With two dumb Yinzers, the stories don't get old. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice.
Happy days are here again. Yeah, everybody, welcome back to the show. This is the Two Dumb Yinzers. This is episode 778. We are just 222 episodes away from the big 1,000 here at the Two Dumb Yinzers. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. This is a big day for the Pittsburgh Steelers fans, everybody, as the Pittsburgh Steelers are back at it. They're back at camp, and we won't have Steeler football until a long, or we won't have Steeler football for a long time. Hopefully mid-February, if things go our way, guys. Good morning and welcome back, everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Tortilla. Welcome to RB. Welcome to everybody. Welcome. Real quick before we do start, I do want to say, I do want to just give a moment to Ozzy Osbourne, like the king, the Prince of Darkness, I guess you could call him, as he referred to himself quite often. Going to be honest here, I thought he's been dead for about 22 years already. However, he just passed away yesterday, Mike. So Ozzy Osbourne, he is number two this week. Theo from the Huxtables, from the Cosby Show, and then, of course, Ozzy. So, Mike, Ozzy, does he mean anything to you? I know you're a metal guy, so.
Yeah, man, it's Ozzy Osbourne. Like, he Black Sabbath founded heavy metal. He was the voice. God, I forget. The guitar players just totally slipped my mind, but like he lost the tips of his fingers, had to loosen up the strings that created the sound of the guitars. So those two together was a Tony Iommi. Correct me if I'm wrong, anyone. But yeah, Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne, legend that he was. Dude did so many drugs. I'm surprised he made it to 76. But yeah, he was. And his voice was incredible too. Like you hear him talk, and then you hear him saying it's night and day. True legend. True legend.
Yeah, he is a true legend. I got to see him, fortunately, a little over 20 years ago for an Ozfest when he came to Pittsburgh. I was glad to be able to do so. That was the only time I seen Ozzy. But again, in my defense, I thought he's been dead for a couple decades. We all certainly know people who's died that's done less. But yes, Ozzy Osbourne has gone, Mike, and that just makes me wonder who's going to be number 3 as the the days go on. You know that all the time it comes in threes when it comes to celebrities, famous people, this and that. Again, Theo from the Cosbys at the beginning of the week, and then Ozzy. Maybe I don't like to do it without Finch, but maybe we'll get a death poll in at the end of the day, Mike. Just because when they come in threes, that comes and goes pretty quick. So maybe you and I will get a couple picks in at the end of the show, just so we don't miss out. But I got to put it on the record. I did have Ozzy this year early on. He died. I had the Pope early this year. He died. So I'm kind of on a roll. I just got to get my timing right here.
Yeah. You've been off on a couple of the picks.
Slightly off. Welcome back, everybody. Again, episode 778. Mike, of course, the big Steeler training camp day today. They showed up yesterday. Everybody got settled in. Today it starts. We have a lot of news, not only from Pittsburgh, from all over the NFL. Of course, you're already seeing on the board. We'll get to all that in just one moment. Mike, is it bizarre? Is it weird to you to be in the first day of Steeler training camp and not think to yourself, Casey Hampton is on the PUP list?
Yeah, and brother, that used to be my favorite thing with him and Coach Cowher, the 40-yard dash. Big Snacks couldn't finish it, and he'd end up on the pup list, and Cowher would be bitching and moaning. Like, come on now. You know, you can set your clock to it, brother.
Hey, that was the only way to stop Big Snacks. There was no center in the league that could do it. Just put a 40-yard dash in front of him, right, and you got him all day.
Yeah, my favorite is Snacks was like, Coach, if I ever have to run 40 yards in a game, I think we lost.
Yeah. And finally, Mike, while talking about the PUP list, Mike is teetering on the PUP list, guys, with his injury getting out of the car the other day while looking for his sunglasses. Mike, I didn't know if you were going to be able to perform today. I seen you wincing as we were going off the air just the other day. I didn't know if you were going to be able to perform, Mike, but here you are. You're back, and you look semi-healthy.
Brother, what I got to tell you, I didn't hurt myself getting out of the car. I hurt myself spending some time with Sapphire, okay?
Oh, I forgot that was the story.
That was the story. You know, because Cinnamon stole my glasses, and I went to confront her, and her stepsister Sapphire was there, and I gave her a little bit of the thunder.
Guys, let's get to it. Everybody knows Pittsburgh Steelers are back at camp today. That's right. They're at St. Vincent College in Latrobe getting ready. We are just a little over a week, Mike. Next Thursday is going to be the first NFL game on TV between the Lions and the Chargers. And, Mike, just 2 weeks from today, we'll just be 2 days short of the Steelers' first preseason game. So if you get paid tomorrow, next payday is going to be Steeler game time. They go to Jacksonville just 2 weeks from 2 days from now. Play their first preseason game, 1 of 3. Mike, I got to be honest. It's going to be here before you know it. We're going to be hitting this Jets game to start the season. Obviously, a lot of things on the board so far regarding their quarterback, and we'll certainly get to that in just a second, Mike. But here we are. Next time you get paid, it's going to be Steeler time. It's going to
add 2 days.
And add 2 days, of course.
I love the way you do math, Ryan. It's like me and Vanilla Thunder just love the way you plan out the days. But it makes sense from a. I know I'm picking up what you're putting down, brother.
Good morning, everybody on the board. Good morning to John. I see Tortilla. I see RB. What's going on, everybody? We're going to start off with Tortilla right here at the bottom. And Tortilla says, or at the top, depending on which way you're looking at your board. Tortilla says Justin Fields down and had to be carted off the field. It was a right toe. I think Mike did indicate later on in the message. Yeah. We'll get to that in just a second. RB thought we had a torn Achilles. Initially, they were suggesting that it may have been an Achilles. They thought it was somewhere in the low leg, and they were right. It was in the very tippy toe part of the leg, as he does go down with a dislocated toe. Very, very early on in 11 on 11s, they get out there. I think it was after the very first play. Justin Fields goes down with his toe. People that were expecting to see a Fields versus the Steelers, a Fields versus Aaron Rodgers, if you will, in week 1. You still might see it. I don't know the extent of this, but again, Justin Fields, former Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback, goes down with a dislocated toe very early in Jets practice today.
That's all I got to say about that, brother.
RB says maybe they'll trade Kenny for maybe they need Kenny up there in New York now. Tortilla says he tore his Achilles. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Let's move forward a little bit. Right here. RB says a normal human would have died at 35 if they lived Oz. He's like, ain't that the truth?
Right?
I know
Dude snorted ants.
I know 21 years ago when he was doing the Osbournes, I would have sworn that he wouldn't have made it 5 years past beyond that point. And again, at that age, Mike, he was just slightly older than I am now, which kind of blows my mind because he seemed like he had 1 foot in the grave at that point.
Yeah, he seemed like he was 70 at that point.
John says, good morning, John. John says, I saw Ozzy in 82 during the bat biting tour. Glory days. Absolutely. Everybody's got a good Ozzy story, man. No two ways about it. I got to see him. They came as Black Sabbath the year that I seen him at the amphitheater here in Pittsburgh. Great time. I got to be honest with you. It was an Oz fest. It went all day. I got introduced to a lot of other bands that day, as well as seeing Slipknot on the second stage, Mike. So it was really cool. You had the advantage to get down close to Slipknot instead of the whole seating arrangement that they have for the first stage. So pretty cool stuff. And OTEP, I was introduced to OTEP, Mike.
Yes. We were at that same show, brother. Who would have thought years later we'd be doing a show together? I
agree.
We left right after Slipknot. We didn't stay for Ozzy and everyone else on the main stage. But, yeah, I never got to see Ozzy in person. Kind of sucks because, he is the father of heavy metal. But,
it was really cool because, as I said, I never seen him prior to that. So as the show started, the curtain is down. Then they put the light up so you could see Ozzy's shadow from the back, And I don't know what he's doing. He's either running forward or moving toward the light. Yeah. It's getting real big. And everybody loved it. It was, of course, Ozzy. So
he put on a show.
Absolutely, man. Tortilla says, damn, Fields couldn't walk on a boo-boo. Kenneth, what's up, brother? Always great seeing Kenneth on the board. My man. John, I'm sorry. Yeah, John, Mike can pull a groin reaching for salt. It's true. It's true.
Dude, brother.
It's damn true.
When I was young and in shape, I pulled both groins at the same time.
Hey, nobody wants to hear what you do in your alone time.
Yeah, I popped all pulling groins last night, brother. Me and Sapphire.
Kenneth said they lucked out. John says the burp made my phone fall off my desk.
He yells at me when I yell to, modulate and the headphones. When he burps, my whole head rattles.
Well, see, that's funny.
It's just, I used to hate the burp for the longest time.
I know you did. And that's why I done it so much. And you know what? You started to like it, and then I just couldn't stop doing it.
Now, I was like, I hate the burp. It's so fucking annoying.
Now then
it became a thing, and then I embraced the burp.
That's all, baby. You just got to embrace the burp. Tortilla says snorting ants gives you power, but that's what I'm saying. Who snorts fire ants?
Right?
Then
he started drinking up his own piss. Like Motley Crue was like, no, we can't party with this guy anymore.
Yeah. When Motley Crue has to turn away because you're
that's when you're a legend.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Yeah, so we got a lot of things going on. Like we have injury news. We have things about people that aren't being signed. I find kind of intriguing around the league. Also some Steelers, a lot of Steelers scoop, guys. Let's get into it. Terry McLaurin, Mike. Terry McLaurin. Everybody showed up for Washington Commanders camp except for Terry McLaurin. I don't think we're going to get Terry McLaurin. No. But, Mike, I got to be honest with you. If we could pull Terry McLaurin, I would make the announcement right here on the show today that I believe that we are a Super Bowl team at that point. If you could bring in scary Terry McLaurin, Mike, go opposite side DK Metcalf, I would say Steelers to the Super Bowl. I don't know if I'd say win just yet, but come on. You give me McLaurin on the other side, providing the team doesn't deal with any injuries, which, again, we'll get into that just 1 second because we're not off to a good start. We'll get into that just 1 second. But, Mike, would it be safe to say if you threw the oh, there it is, guys. Hold on. I'm just getting word right now.
I'm verifying this.
Verify that, Mike. We might have just had our third death, guys. Of course, we started with Theo from the Cosbys. Then we went to Ozzy. Guys, I'm getting word right now. I'm getting word that Hulk Hogan may have just died. Mike is checking in on it right now.
Holy
yeah.
Yeah, it's on TMZ. I'm seeing it all over.
Hulk Hogan has just died, and I gotta say, Mike, I'm gonna be pissed because we didn't even get a chance to do our death poll. I said number 3 was gonna happen this week, and we just lost Hulk Hogan. Everybody, Hulk Hogan has passed away.
I'm doing a quick Google search. That was a Twitter search. Yeah, cardiac arrest at his home in Florida. I'm seeing it.
You know what? I literally thought about 3.5 weeks ago that Hulk Hogan was going to probably die soon. I shit you not. Hulk Hogan, everybody, is number 3. We had 3 celebrities this week. And I was on the guys on our board too. I said, you know what? We got to get to our death pool. Somebody else is about to die. So, guys, there you go. Theo from the Cosbys, Ozzy Osbourne, and Hulk Hogan all in 1 week. If you're an 80s kid or you grew up through the 80s, man, it's a rough week for you. But Mike, let's get back to it. No need to bring everybody down. The board's getting live. We have Steeler camp in full swing, guys. The Steelers are back in action in St. Vincent College in Latrobe. We got all kind of stuff going on here. And yes, if you haven't heard, you're just tuning in. Justin Fields did go down with a right toe, a dislocated toe on his right foot. They started 11 on 11s. He didn't make it through the first play as he tried to escape, and he's down with a dislocated toe. Let's get back on this board, Mike, because a lot of people are starting to chime in, and I do not want to leave anybody out.
No.
I'm going to go right here to Chad. What's up, brother? Great seeing Chad on the board today on Camp Day. Good morning, Chad. Chad says, what's up, Yinzers fam? What's going on with you, brother? What's good? Mark Malone, also welcome to the show. He said, I saw a funny video with Zach Wild. Interviewer asked Zach to tell a funny Aussie story. Zach says he went to Aussie's house to have a cup of tea. Aussie says, Zach, I don't drink anymore. I don't do drugs. Okay.
Anymore, schlong doesn't work.
What's that?
You got to read the second one.
I'm getting there.
Sorry, brother. I'm sorry.
And then the second one says, anymore. Okay, I don't do drugs anymore. My schlong doesn't even work. Zach, that's why I'm alive. It makes more sense when you put it together. I get that. All right. I like it. Good story. Good morning to Waterboy on the board. Waterboy, how you doing today, sir? Huge ass forever, my man. He says women are bad at geography and driving. RB says, would you all trade Highsmith for McLaurin? I would. Because McLaurin is going to make more big plays for you through the course of every single game than Alex Highsmith. I think we have another eligible, certainly capable outside linebacker with Nick Herbig, and we have a pretty good linebacker core from top to bottom. I personally would trade McLaurin for Highsmith, yes. Guys, I got to be honest with you. I kind of just put him at the level of a Bud Dupree. I think my opposite side, TJ Watt, I think both of those guys are able to benefit at their position. Mike, I like Highsmith. He's solid. But at the end of the day, I'm not married to the idea of Highsmith being just this great Steeler. I like him. I support him. He's going to be my guy. But again, would I trade Scary Terry for Highsmith in a heartbeat?
I would, because what you would lose on that side.
What you would lose, we don't even have a number 2 wide receiver. We've already lost on the other side.
Yeah, I know.
And this guy, Mike, the playmaking ability on him, the plays he can make through the course of one game, you might see Highsmith make 2 or 3 tackles. And I would do it because I think we have guys that will be capable of being the next guy up behind Highsmith.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It would make a whole lot more sense than how we were saying. I would trade TJ Watt for him. So obviously I would trade Highsmith for him. But now I got the team where I like the team now. I don't want to subtract anyone. I just want to add. Good
question, though, RB. Chad says Wednesday, July 30th, going to Steelers camp and hoping to meet Pat McAfee. He is doing a live podcast that day. Camp. We'll have a good time because a couple days after that derby, we're going to have our very own derby. We'll be live on the scene. I believe on the 2nd will be the day he'll be down there. So everybody have a good time and drink lots of water. It's hot. It's rebounding, Mike. It was nice for a couple days. Now it's getting hot again.
It's been too hot.
Mark Malone says not the Hulkster.
No.
He was a Terry with a mullet, Mike.
I know. I'm wearing the skullet in honor of him today, brother.
You know what? If somebody just goes by the show, they probably would think that.
Because they probably think I am doing a tribute to him.
Well, we'll roll with that.
All right, hell yeah, brother.
Kind of says, wouldn't that be weapon overkill to get Scary Terry? Sometimes too many weapons. You know what? At this point, I'm ready for too many weapons because, again, we've kind of been minus on the minus side of that lately. I like to give it a try with too many weapons and see how that plays out. But at this point, yeah, I would love that. I like that a lot. Again, I think Terry McLaurin is going to make a lot more plays per game that's going to help this team win than Highsmith. And again, if you have a solid guy to come in behind him, which I think we do in Nick Herbig, I think that I would do it. I would do it. Let's see. Chad says, rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. Well, that sucks. I was hoping to meet him at one of his shops in Tennessee. Something was just going on with him, and I thought to myself, I was like, I bet you any money he doesn't make it much longer. Something was just going on with him. It was like a stressful situation. I thought Hulk's gonna be before long.
I don't know, yeah, because he's had a lot of health problems.
Yeah, maybe it was one of his health issues I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Mark says, no, why am I alive?
It's correct because you messed up his quote, the Aussie quote.
Oh yeah, you're all right.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, man. I get it now.
Yeah.
Tortilla says, I'd keep Highsmith, to be honest. He's a great number 2 outside linebacker. I think he's solid. I don't know if I'd call him great. RB says Bud was, and that's kind of where I'm at too, RB. I just didn't really, I kind of put Bud Dupree and Alex Highsmith in the same category. Meaning if Alex Highsmith would go to a team that doesn't have anything good to supplement him, he would have the same results as Bud Dupree on another team.
Things are like he's so dependable on that side when he's healthy. That's another thing. Like he gets the injury bug too.
RB says Bud was better. Tortilla says Highsmith is versatile. It just wouldn't. You make an argument either way. I mean, I think you got a good argument, but guys, for what we're lacking in offense, I would take Terry McLaurin in a heartbeat. Again, just like most Steeler fans, I'm craving, I'm yearning for some points on this team. And if we score a lot of points, a defense minus Alex Highsmith, I think would suffice. You know what I mean? If the Steelers are able to go out and score 30, 35 points a game, I think the defense without Highsmith would still be good enough to keep a lot of offenses below 30, 35 points to get the win. Where on the other hand, you need the points, you need production on offense. What's the difference what Highsmith can do if we're not outscoring anybody? So again, I kind of weigh it out. I just think the better overall player is Terry McLaurin. And again, he could do much more for you through the course of one game that can result in a win than what Highsmith could do. Again, if we didn't have any backups, if we didn't have depth at the outside linebacker, I may consider the other way. But again, that's a good question, guys. Good question. John says, you were alive to make chameleon-like comments to fit whatever certain Steeler podcast narrative you happen to be on. Who's that, Madden?
No, Mark Malone.
Oh, Mark Malone. You know what pissed me off about that Mark Madden the other day? Did you say what he said about Andrew McCutcheon?
No,
I don't want to get off the Steelers too long, but he goes about Andrew McCutcheon. He says he needs to just retire because right now he's a nostalgia act, a mascot, a parochian uniform, and a bobblehead come to life. No, dickhead. He's one of the great. He just passed Willie Stargell on the all-time hit list. He's not any of those. He's productive. He's doing a lot of things. And for an old man, I think Mark Madden's lost his fucking mind.
Yeah, like he might be the mascot now.
Yeah, he's a mascot, all right. Sorry about that, John. Yes, Mark Malone is who he's referring to. Tortilla says the thing Arthur does. The thing is, Arthur doesn't use wide receiver. Well, because we haven't had one. I don't think like I said, it's going to be. I want to see Arthur Smith's offense now that we have an offense. Hopefully, it's different than we've seen. He says it doesn't use the wide receiver 2 that much, and I expect him to use different packages with Jonnu and Muth. I want to see if Roman can do something too. Of course, I mean, we all want to see those things, but until they play out, we don't know. Again, we were all expecting Roman Wilson. We were going to take a look at him last year, and then also with the other things. I mean, I agree. Listen, I'm not disagreeing with you, Torchy. I'm just saying how much offense. Think of a 17 game season, games here, games there, games across the pond. How many things can we do with tight ends? I'm just saying we could if we had a Travis or a Gronkowski, that's we're talking the different language. But how much of an offense can we possibly depend on our tight ends? Again, a wide receiver generally is a lot more productive, with an exception of a few players, a few teams. But I'd love to get that wide receiver too, Mike. And I'm also seeing now that it's training camp time and people are going to start looking around at those guys that are kind of sitting on the sideline still waiting, Mike. A lot of decent talent sitting out there. Of course, the receivers we talk about all the time here on the show. Guys like Jordan Whitehead. I mean, these guys aren't working. So there is still time before the Steelers start playing football games, and I wouldn't put it by Omar to make another move or two, Mike. Of course, I see DK Metcalf on Twitter lobbying for a Justin Simmons move. So we will see, guys. We will see. Kenneth says, Tortilla, I agree. Highsmith makes splash plays too. He does. I'm not going to say that he don't. But I think we need more of the splash plays from the other side of the ball, guys. I mean, what if DK gets locked down one day? What if we play somebody that has a good CB1 and DK is locked down for the day? I mean, yeah, we have 13 tight ends, but again, Aaron says, here we go, Steelers. Here we go, baby. Welcome to the board, Aaron. Always great to see Aaron Jade on the board. Tortilla says, he's a great number 2, not great in general. If Watt does go down, I want Highsmith still instead of Herbig or Sawyer. Also, Tortilla follows it up by saying, I don't know. I just keep Highsmith his great compliment to Watt. Kenneth says, when TJ went down, didn't Highsmith have like 14 sacks? I don't know.
He had 14 and a half in 2022. And yeah, that was the year Watt went out.
Tortilla Jackson says, throughout Arthur's career, his never really used wide receiver 2, just wide receiver 1, a bunch of tight ends, and a running back. See, I don't feel comfortable with that. I'd feel comfortable with that if we had a wide receiver 2, and he was doing all those things. Then if that's your bread and butter, that's what I'm saying. I don't want my bread and butter to be a 2-3 tight end offense all the time. I mean, you're kind of painting yourself into a corner, I think, by doing that. He says, I think there's one year he had Mooney and London, and they did well together, but for the most part, wide receiver 2 is absent. Mark Malone, Kenneth Jones, no, he went down himself last year. Waterboy, Highsmith isn't doing too much I'm kind of right there with you, Waterboy, on this one. He had 28 solo tackles and 6 sacks last year, but who replaces him if we trade him? I think that one of these young guys could certainly be very productive, and I think they would show out. I really do. I mean, Nick Herbig always looks for that opportunity, and he gets them wheels going. And also, again, Sawyer is a rookie. It's hard to say at this point, but we obviously want to see more of him eventually. But again, at the end of the day, I mean, if you're looking for the more talented guy, I would have to go with Terry McLaurin on this one. I think the linebackers would be a little bit easier to replace than the opposite with the receivers at this point. John says, will the Steelers start attacking the middle? If so, the tight ends will have a bigger role. Rodgers can throw to the middle, but will they finally have the balls to do it or continue to play scared? I'm hoping, John, that they do. I'm hoping that at this point, you have 13 tight ends. You're going to have to you're going to have to do something with these guys. And as you said, Aaron Rodgers ain't afraid to throw over the middle of the field, which may lead to a turnover or 2 more throughout the course of the season. A ball bouncing off of the guy's hands and into the safety's hands. I mean, everything that goes with it. But I think by default, Mike, I think we would have to see more plays over the middle of the field, which I don't think us as Steeler fans are going to know how to react.
Yeah, they're going to. I anticipate that. Tomlin seems to trust Aaron Rodgers more than he did. The hodgepodge of nothingness we've had since Ben retired. So, those were a lot of either young quarterbacks or quarterbacks who had a shoddy track record. So, yeah, I think they're going to allow Aaron Rodgers to attack every part of the field just because of that trust factor alone of, hey, he's not going to turn the ball over. And they know with him back there, okay, if we get behind, we can easily catch up in this game. We don't have to worry about him making stupid plays and decisions every single time. If he happens to get picked off the middle, what shit happens, we're not going to shy away from it. Whereas I understand why they would do it with like Mitch Trubisky, Kenny Pickett, Justin Fields, because those are either young quarterbacks or quarterbacks who never proved anything in the league. Whereas Aaron Rodgers, he's past his prime, but he can still thread that needle in the middle of the field better than any quarterback we've had since Big Ben. So I look for the middle of the field to be exploited this year.
I would find it to be a big disappointment if it wasn't. I would be honest with you. If we go through the season and we don't attack the middle of the field, then you got to say to yourself, when? At what point would this team be comfortable attacking the middle of the field? And that's when you really have to come back to coaching and say, You know, you got to come up with something here, guys, because you can't not go at the middle of the field ever. On the board, Herbig would not give the run support that Highsmith does. Kenny says that. Then also Waterboy follows it up by saying Herbig is fast but isn't very strong. You might have to go out and grab someone. And Tortilla staying on the Highsmith here. He says, I'd give up a 2027 third and Roman Wilson before Highsmith. Following that up with saying Herbig also sucks against the run. No two ways about it. He's undersized to play the run, but that's when you play third. Play situational, maybe with linebackers moving guys around, which the Steelers don't seem really comfortable doing. They get their linebackers, they put them in a spot, and they let them play there. And as you see with T.J. Watt, doesn't move much from his spot. So it would be interesting, absolutely, to say the least. Waterboy says within strength comes pressure from the D-line. Herbig can't push very well, but he's quick and shifty. That's how's that help Watt? Tortilla says, Kenneth, my bad. You already said that. And John says O-line pass pro equals Rodgers time and comfort equals effective offense. Guys, also, I don't know if anybody is up to date on this. We did lose someone already of importance, guys. Isaac Seumalo. He is on the what's he on? Like the non-football injury list.
Yes, sir. Non-football injury. The NFI.
So think about your offensive line, guys, and what we're working with. Obviously, all the youth next to Seumalo, but Seumalo, guys, has been placed on the non-football injury list. I don't know much more into that story. However, I do know on Tuesday, Mike, we talked about who's going to be the first injury of camp, who's going to be the first long-term injury. Nobody likes to talk about it, but it's real. It's realistic. It's certainly something that we've dealt with. But, guys, Isaac Seumalo has been placed on the non-football injury list.
Yeah, I forget what it was, like a little muscle tightness in his quad, I think it was. Is what I read.
I don't know. I didn't see it.
Yeah, it was a little muscle tightness. So for precautions, they're keeping him out. Hopefully that is the end of the injury report for training camp. If not, we are blaming you because that's all you ever want to talk about anymore is injuries.
Guys, also, let's talk about some Steeler injuries. Now, this is things that are unfortunate that's going on around the league that are former Steelers, guys. Artie Burns. Everybody remembers Artie Burns, guys, former Pittsburgh CB. Artie Burns blows out his ACL already. He is done for the season. Devin Bush this week has been arraigned on his alleged assault, guys. Devin Bush. Pickens leaves practice early. I'm not sure what that's all about, but they were fighting down there in Dallas. A whole lot of fighting going on. Also, Deontay Johnson leaves the practice early in Cleveland. And then, of course, Justin Fields' injury. We learned this morning he dislocates a toe on his right foot. So, Mike, with our Seumalo news, it's better than what's going on around the league for some of these other teams.
A whole hell of a lot better. I'll take a slight muscle strain over a torn ACL and arraignments any day of the week.
Yeah, absolutely. Back on the board, RB says Tomlin trait wouldn't matter. Rodgers won't play puss ball for the sake of being a puss. And I agree. I think I like that. I like the fact that Aaron's going to do what Aaron's going to do. And I think once he's successful a few times, I think Mike Tomlin is going to be right along with it, and it's going to make his job easier. And I don't think there's going to be many problems. It's going to be when he makes his own call, Mike, and it turns bad, and he throws an interception, and Acrisure Stadium is just booing the shit out of him. That's when it could be a situation. But as long as things are going well, I think it's going to.
At that point, you got to trust your veteran quarterback out there, especially with someone who's been there, done that.
I would agree.
You have to trust them.
I would trust my quarterback over my head coach if I was on this football team right now.
Yeah, and you would see, like, after that play, I could see them two talking like, "Hey, what did you see? Why did you do this?" And you're like, "All right, cool, do it again." Shit happens. Sometimes it works for you, sometimes it doesn't.
Just right on the top of the board, real quick, John says the Texans have 11 injuries.
Is Tank Dell 12 of them? Because my guy gets injured on everything.
Ay. Mark Malone says, I wonder if McCollum or Anderson will take his snaps.
I'm guessing Anderson. Good old Spence.
Kenneth says, I think we just want to see somebody else for a brief time like we did with Russ last year to see Fields. Tortilla says, well, season's over. Kenneth says, also great news. Tomlin said he would get to see what Will Howard has a lot. Yeah, and I look forward to that as well, because you got to figure, guys, it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot of Will Howard. It's going to be a lot of Mason Rudolph, and maybe even some Skylar Thompson sprinkled in there. You're going to get your first series action from your starters, as always. However he decides to do it. I know Tomlin does it a little differently, but it's all basically the same. They're going to get their first series. Maybe the second game they'll get a little bit more than that, the whole way down the line. But at the end of the day, Mike, I think it's going to be a lot of Will Howard, a lot of Mason Rudolph, and again, some sprinkled Skylar. And I don't even know why you're going to see why you would see a lot of Skylar Thompson at this point, Mike. Whether he makes the team or whether he doesn't, I don't know. But I would think that there's going to be a lot of Will Howard in this preseason.
Yeah. I think so too. You want to see what he has. If you're liking what you're seeing in OTAs, you're seeing in just little practices here and there, hell yeah, see what the kid has. There's a reason you drafted him. It's not just to sit there and hold a clipboard.
Mike, he's gonna get whole halves to himself. I really believe that. Will Howard is going to be, however the games play out, he's going to get a lot of time. We already know what Mason Rudolph can do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's going to play just because he is the second string quarterback. But, I bet you Will Howard gets whole halves to himself in preseason to really take a look at him. So I look forward to that.
Yeah, I see the first quarter, even part of the second being Aaron Rodgers and Mason Rudolph. Because you want Mason to be your number two. It's a different offense. Yeah, he's been here forever, but he was not here last year under the Arthur Smith offense. So get him some reps in there to get familiar with it. Any new terminology, any of the guys out there to get reacclimated with. But then from then on, you go Will Howard heavy and sprinkle in Skylar Thompson.
To me, it seems like first series early, you know how they do first quarter maybe for the starters. And then you get your Mason will be second. And then I think, again, Will Howard will get a majority of playing time in this preseason. I really do. I think he's going to be the guy that we're going to be watching mostly, which I'm fine with entirely because I got to get an idea of what it is that Will Howard's doing. I seen him in the playoffs last year at Ohio State. I wasn't blown away, but we'll take a look-see. We will take a look-see. We'll take a look-see. John says Texans have 11 injuries. Tortilla, God, we had the sinister 6. RB says Jalen Warren not expecting to return next year. That's interesting as well because Caleb Johnson, hopefully he might be in position to be the guy next year. We don't know, but one thing I do know, Mike, is he is going to be working out with Lev Bell. I heard that recently as well over the past day and a half. Caleb Johnson will be doing some working out with Lev Bell. So who's better to work out with?
Yeah. He what I read is he was working out with him before training camp.
Okay.
So that'll be I want to see, can he incorporate some of that Lev Bell shiftiness, the patience.
RB says Warren is a nice back, but vastly overrated by Steeler games. I think Gainwell is better, honestly. That's determined to be seen. Of course, we know that Gainwell has been winning on a winning Super Bowl team. He's been there. So, whatever they decide to do, we will see, guys. Tortilla says, yes, some team is going to offer Warren a good contract. Hopefully we see enough out of Caleb Johnson. I think we have Gainwell for 2 years, right? Mike, what is his deal?
Hold on. I have the contracts all up here. So if you just bear with me for a second, let me find the running backs and Kenneth Gainwell.
Waterboy is saying
this a year for Gainwell.
Waterboy is saying Gainwell averaged 3 yards a game last year, where Warren had 4.3.
Yeah, Warren's at 4.8 for his career. His touchdowns dropped last year from 6 down to 1. That's a bit concerning, but
absolutely being on a running offense.
Yeah, but every other stat was looking good for Jalen Warren last year.
Oh, for Warren? Are you talking about Gainwell or are you talking about Warren?
I was talking about Warren.
Oh, okay. So Gainwell's touchdowns didn't go down?
I didn't look at Gainwell.
Okay.
I was looking at Jalen Warren.
Was just confused. You said Gainwell, so I didn't.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, we were talking about both.
Sticky B, what's up, Sticky B on the board? What's going on, brother? Sticky B says Will Howard is the same size as Josh Allen. Hopefully he can put it all together. Allen wasn't anything special in his first year. Boy, I would just love to see Will Howard come out and be one of these guys that plays out of his mind.
Yeah.
But like I said, there's a special gene. There's a special gene that you have if you're one of these guys, and you know it pretty. A lot of times, you know it pretty early in a player's career if he's going to be that kind of guy. And that's what we're going to watch for this Will Howard. Again, we've been watching the Steelers carousel throughout our lives. In between the two the two Hall of Famers, of course, Terry and Ben, we've seen our share. We've seen our share of guys that were okay. We've seen our share of guys that were pretty good. We've seen our share of guys that were terrible. And one thing that I noticed is you can usually tell pretty early about a guy if he's got that thing going for him. And, maybe we'll see it in Will Howard. We'll certainly be watching for it in this preseason.
Hopefully he has it.
Kenneth says Warren will have many offers if we don't keep him. He's a star. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what? I think the only thing that really makes this interesting is the fact that we did go out and get Caleb Johnson in the draft. Had we not, I think that Warren might be a priority for us, Mike. But because of Caleb Johnson, I don't think keeping Jalen Warren will be high on our list as it would be as we're pulling it, trying to keep other big name players around.
Exactly. If Caleb Johnson doesn't play well, then you kind of like, okay, do we offer Jalen a nice little contract to keep him here, or do we go out and take a look in the draft? Because he's another one of those undrafted free agent gems that we found. So you can find good running backs about anywhere.
That's what they say until you don't have one.
Until you don't have one.
That's what I always used to think when we had we had Ben. I used to think, why do these teams? Why can they just never get together? Why can't they just find a quarterback and do better?
Right? Why can't
you do better?
Why can't you just go to the franchise quarterback tree and pluck one, brother?
Yeah. Let's see. Kenneth says Warren's touchdowns were that we're used to. Najee when close in the end zone. Yeah. Waterboy says, well, Mike, Warren had some fumble issues, and
yes,
they wanted Harris and more, but Gainwell has less yards and only one TD too. I think those three guys are kind of all in the same category. If you would have taken any two of these three guys, I would have been okay. I know people didn't like Najee. I did like Najee, but at the end of the day, I think these three guys that we're talking about, they're all basically in the same package. They have different styles, different things that they do. They bring different things. But, if you're looking for a running back of that caliber, these are going to be three guys that you're going to find in that tier. And we got two of them. So I'm not really concerned at this point about that, Mike.
Yeah, that's like Najee. That's why he was the number one. The ball security.
Absolutely.
You never had to worry about him. Or Jalen Warren. I think I said this on the show. I know I said to you off air, is my biggest concern with him is the ball security. And that's why he's a number two. He's not a featured back.
Sticky B saying if Caleb can improve his pass blocking, he'll be on the field a ton. And you know what? Lucky for him, the guy's never played a game in the NFL yet, so he has all the time in the world, right, to improve his blocking. He hasn't even had his feet wet against these guys in the NFL yet, so that's a plus. If he could, continue to grow, and he seems to be a good athlete, so hopefully, he could make that happen. RB says Warren fumble rate is shit, and he gets consistently banged up with small injuries. But you got to admit, RB, the guy's like a bowling ball. You know what I mean? If you need a down, you need a first down, you're a couple yards shy. I feel comfortable giving the ball to Warren. He's a little bowling ball, and when he's hitting on all cylinders, he's nice. I'm not calling him no Adrian Peterson or anything like this, but I'm saying if in small yard situations, the guys grab the ball, took off upfield, and was able to gain significant yards a lot of times. So, that there are certain areas that I do.
He's a great number two running back.
He's a great number two running back. He would excel in a Cleveland style offense, like how they like to run their two running backs. He would excel in something like that. Kenneth says Warren would stay for 2 years, $8 to $10 million, and already had offers. He declined to stay here. It's a lot of that's going to come down to what Caleb Johnson does. Is he going to wow us? Because if he wows us, I think we're going to be a lot more accepting of the idea that Jalen Warren might move. If he doesn't, then we're going to be like, oh, well, wait a minute, what do we got here? But I think a lot of people were hoping that Caleb Johnson could really wow us in his rookie season. Yeah,
I hope so too. That's mine and Mark Malone's guy right there, Caleb Johnson.
Let's see where we're at. RB says the QB issue in the NFL is teams draft a guy and build a system around him. not build a system and draft a guy who fits. Today's NFL ignores the importance of system and fits. You know what? Sometimes I agree. I agree. And you know what? Some of these teams, it makes them look stupid because they get a high draft pick. What are they not going to do? They're not going to, you're not going to get the best quarterback available. What's wrong with you? So you're kind of pressured. You're kind of pressured. They'll make the draft because of the name or the player. And again, there's so much other things that still needs work. And again, it's an odd situation. We've been there. We've certainly been there.
That was us this year. We didn't get a quarterback, so everyone said this was a terrible draft for the Steelers. And there's no quarterback worthy of really being taken in the first, second round to be your franchise guy.
Yeah. Najee, apparently Najee Harris. You know what? I pretty much say everything wrong in my life, so I'm kind of exempt. But Mike,
you kept calling him Justin Wilson last year.
Yeah, see,
I'm Russell Fields.
I'm mildly retarded. You can't go by
mildly. I don't think should be even part of that statement, brother.
RB says, Ryan, I agree. He's good, but in a limited role. Kenneth says, I think we're a two-back system from now on. For right now, I agree. For right now, I agree. I think that we are certainly a two-back system. And then Sticky B says, look at the Lions running game. They have two backs, and they both eat. Warren and Johnson could be Thunder. And that's the thing. I mean, that would be the best-case scenario. You would love to see both of these guys really excel. And, again, it's possible. It's possible.
Yeah, like Jalen Warren, his second year in the league, man, he carried the ball 150 times, 784 yards. If him and Caleb Johnson going to have that kind of split, the way him and Najee had that split 2 years ago, this offense will fucking eat teams alive because you will have a steady dose of a nice rushing attack mixed in with play actions and bootlegs and all the weapons we have, all the 5,000 tight ends that we have, brother. Should be a damn good offense to watch. Should be fun.
I mean, I would unload some of our tight ends to grab somebody good. You know what I mean? Like we have options. We certainly have options if we wanted to move some players around. We have 3 starting tight ends. I'm going to be honest with you. All 3 of these guys could certainly be a starter somewhere else. And, we have leverage. We're really thin in some areas and we're really thick in other areas. We just got to kind of even things out.
Connor Hayward, you're next on the trade block, brother.
Well, he's the one that I wouldn't because he's not worth anything.
He's the one I would trade.
You're not going to get anything.
I don't care. I'll get a sack of fresh footballs, baby.
I would get rid of one of these tight ends because, again, 3 of these guys, one of them, they all could start somewhere else. And you could put together a pretty good package, I think, to pull somebody. Tortilla's saying a 3-back, 1 receiver, 7 tight end system. That's what I'm saying. Come on. I've never seen this in my life with these tight ends. Warren RB says Warren's frame won't allow him to handle more than 11 touches a game. You don't think so? I don't know. I was kind of under the impression he was kind of beastie. I mean, yeah, he got he came across some injuries, but who doesn't, right? I mean, he's a little
215, thighs thicker than my gut.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think that he can not handle the load. But we'll learn that. We'll learn it real quick this year as we do lose our 4-year 1,000-yard rusher every year running back. So he does, whether, again, you like Najee or not, he did a lot, and Warren is going to have to live up to that. So it's going to be interesting to see if that can be the case, guys. Sticky B says Vanilla Thunder is right. Connor might not make the team. Is there anybody that would be upset if Connor Hayward doesn't make this football team?
Cam
would be the only one. Kenneth says, keep the tight ends we have. They will all have roles and give Rodgers lots of options. Waterboy says Johnson fits Arthur's scheme better than Najee. He just needs to work on blocking. Warren will be in on pass plays, and Gainwell probably screens. Any way you slice it, guys, we were just 2 weeks and 2 days away from watching the Pittsburgh Steelers play football. Guys, not next Saturday. Next Saturday was when Derby's going to be at camp. The following Saturday, we're going to be in Jacksonville. Again, very little. I'm guessing maybe a series to start the game. Aaron Rodgers, he can be a little different because, again, he's Aaron Rodgers. But any way you slice it, I think it'll be Aaron. I think it'll be some Mason because he is number 2. But I think a majority of these games in preseason, you're going to see a lot of Will Howard. You're going to see a lot of Caleb Johnson. You're going to see a lot of Roman Wilson. You're going to see a lot of these guys that we have question marks above their names because we just don't know. And this is why they play the preseason games, right?
Exactly. You know, this is where you on paper, you think so-and-so is going to be good. Next thing you know, I'm like, oh shit, man, he was a bust. Our evaluators were wrong. All the evaluators around the NFL were wrong. Or, you know, you find out, hell yeah, this guy's a dog and everyone was right. That's why I can't wait for preseason. The games tend to suck. They're kind of crappy. That's when you just got to hone in on, okay, I'm going to watch this guy play. Just that guy only, every down.
Tortilla says Nagy will lose his job to Hampton before the end of the year. He might if he keeps fucking around out there. I mean, he's been in California how long? He's already blew his eye out with fireworks and who knows what else. Connor will make it because of Cam. You know what? Then that sucks because that could be another. You know, that could be somebody else. Connor's basically done nothing. And unless anybody could remind me of something that he did really well so far in his career, he's just he's a body at this point to me. Nagy won't ever have the job. RB is also following that up by saying you don't take a halfback in round 1 to sit him, which was the case. They did get their guy, a guy that we were interested in, Mike, at one point.
Yeah, which I just find so funny. You go and get a running back in free agent that you're like, oh yeah, he's going to be our starter. Then you go and draft a running back in the first round.
Well, I mean, are we much better the way we do things at this point, Mike? I don't know. It's a good question. But I would expect the Chargers to be good. I'm going to be honest with you. This is not a team to sleep on this year. I expect the Chargers to have a good season, Mike, as their defense lit up the least amount of points last year all season long.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Kind of says people were seriously underestimating Warren. He's better than Najee and should have been back last year, but Steelers wanted to give Najee a chance to showcase for a pickup team.
I love how everyone on the board is now embracing Najee.
I know.
I just love it. These guys,
I was a Najee guy. I liked him. He didn't blow you away, but again, at the end of the day, he was solid. He had, as you said, ball security, and
he had the best. He had the 2 best availabilities if you won over running back. He doesn't fumble, and he was available.
And he, again, people don't go by this anymore because there's a 17th game, but he was the only running back in the past 4 years to run 1,000 yards in all 4 seasons. To me, that's something. Yeah, he ran like he had a load in his pants, but at the end of the day, his numbers showed you otherwise. So it's a case of smoke and mirrors with him. I was a fan. I like Nagy. I was sad to see him go. Waterboy says, I agree with Kenneth. Tortilla says, Connor's versatile, and Tomlin and Con value that he could fill in different positions at a tolerable level, not great, not horrible, somewhere in between good and bad. And I agree. That's what he is.
Meh. Was never a fan of Connor Hayward. Never a fan.
I mean, the thing is, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. I don't dislike. I don't.
You're the 54th. He's really the 53rd guy on the roster. So really expecting anything out of him is a bit much.
Speaking of people at the other end of the roster, though, Mike, as they were naming the NFL's top 100 players over the past week and a half, we've noticed that Cam Hayward was on this list. We noticed that Patrick Queen was on this list. Mike, and just recently, Jalen Ramsey comes in at number 66 on this season's NFL top 100 list. Mike, last year he came in at 25. This year it's 66. Should that be a concern to the Steelers?
No. I mean, Cam Hayward is on one list is ranked number 2 overall in the NFL. And then this list amongst players, Jalen Ramsey, 66. No, doesn't concern me at all.
But that's kind of a drop, significant drop, 25 to 66. I mean, that's almost 40 spots. And again, Mike, this is the NFL's top 100. This isn't a side crew coming up with these numbers. This is what the NFL put together. Again, yes, I agree. Cam Hayward being up at the top of the list is a farce. But again, having somebody drop 40 spots in a season, that's where I'm coming at you, Mike. Is that a concern to you? Again, not where they're ranked, not who's ranked what. The fact that he fell 40 spots on this official list.
No, it doesn't bother me at all. I just love just watch him play.
Okay. All right, interesting. Let's see. RB says Warren isn't a number one halfback. His production and appeal will fall off with the steady workload.
I don't know. The year he had his most touches was his most productive year.
Oh, obviously, right? That should be the case. If that's not the
Like,
case, then you
you know,
gotta.
no, say like his rookie year, he had 77 carries for a 4.9 average. Next year, 149 carries for a 5.3 average. So his production went up the more workload he was given.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Waterboy says they ran 1,000 yards a season because that's all they could do was pound the ball with Nagy. I want more offensive weapons. No, you're right. Well, yeah. I mean, the thing was they didn't have a great line. They didn't have great offensive schemes, and also we were very predictable. So, in my opinion, that should have locked Nagy up a little bit more. But still, again, 1,000 yards each of his first 4 seasons in the league. It's an accomplishment to agree. Again, nobody else did that over the past 4 years. So, say what you will. I'm a Nagy guy. I'm gonna always find a way to be on his side. I liked him. Wasn't my favorite, but Tortilla says every team needs a goofy guy who probably shouldn't be on the team, but is our Connor Hayward?
That describes Connor Hayward to a T.
Is it because of his haircut? What's the deal?
It is the haircut, man. I can't get past the haircut because it looks so goofy on him.
Look at Mike. Look at Mike's hair right now,
brother. Don't be hating on his hair.
And Mike is hating
especially
on
of
today's
days, brother. The passing of Terry below a Hulk Hogan, brother.
Damn it! I wish we would have. I can't say that I would have picked him, but I really wanted to get the death pulling this morning. But Mike, the Hulk died before he even had a chance. Damn it. RB says horseshit. Tomlin loves versatility. My ass. No one ever is used in a versatile way under Tomlin. And Waterboy says it's either run the ball with Nagy or throw it up the Pickens. And that's the thing that has to change this year. We have to utilize these other receivers. If Calvin Austin is in fact going to be the number 2, there's got to be some pretty big changes this year, guys. I mean, we again, of the 24 starters, 11, 11, and 2, half of them are different people this year. Offense, defense, and even special teams. We got Cameron Johnston back punting the ball. So it's a different team. And we got to remember this team right here managed to be 10-3 at the 3/4 of the way mark and just couldn't find a way to get over that stretch, guys. So again, was replacing half the team with new starters this season. Is that going to be the difference? Is that going to be what it takes? Is that going to be what it is to maybe get us in contention to win the AFC North? Is that going to be what it takes to get us in past that hurdle, Mike, of beating those teams that we have to figure out how to beat? We got to figure out how to beat. Eventually, we have to figure out how to beat a Buffalo, who we get this year. You're going to have to figure out a way to beat teams like Detroit, who's probably not going to be one and done in the playoffs this year. So I mean, there's a lot of teams that we're going to get a good litmus test of what this team that we built over this offseason is going to be able to do. And we hope that those moves are going to be enough for us to make that move. A lot of people want to win a playoff game. Listen, I think we're one player away from being a pretty damn good team at this point. People are going to go on. You have an old quarterback. You have this and you have that. For what it is right now, I'll take it. I'll take it over Kenny Pickett. I'll take it over Mason Rudolph. I'll take it over, a lot of these situations that we had, because at the end of the day, he is 42. But, inside of the shell, he still has this. And a lot of times, guys, that goes so far in the game of football. Guys that can step up to the line and see things that other people can't, recognize things that other people can't, make changes and adapt and revise the way other people can't, goes a long way. And if he just has, a percentage of what he could used to do physically, again, he was never the most physical guy. He was never a freak athlete. He was always more up here, between the ears kind of guy. Those are the reasons I'm feeling okay with this season going in. We put the team that we put together this offseason together, Mike. And like I said, if we could grab maybe another guy to fill in one of those two positions that are always my concern right now, your safety and your wide receiver too, I will feel a lot better about this team. And if you could bring in a name that's, a lot of Justin Simmons talk, Mike, a lot of, the receivers, you might start talking more about getting a little bit closer to the AFC Championship game when you talk playoffs, opposed to just trying to win a playoff game.
Yeah, but I'm not looking for any moves on, especially like wide receiver, until maybe towards the end of camp, because Omar Khan said what I said I thought they were going to do, and that's they want to see their guys, what they have.
Oh, absolutely.
What do we have in Roman Wilson? There's a reason they drafted him. They're hoping last year he would push as a rookie to be the starting outside receiver. And this year they had the expectations of they're not treating him as a rookie. They're treating him like, no, dude, this is your second year in the league. Show up and act like it. And the way he showed up to minicamp in better shape than he did last year, that's going a long way with him. And his route running looked like it had improved from last year to this year. So they want to see what he can do. Give him a shot at the outside. That's what you drafted him. Let's see what we got. You can't just draft guys and go, oh, we got to go sign this free agent, that free agent, that free agent to start over this guy. Let's see what he has before we can make an actual determination of whether do we have to go out and overpay for a vet? Do we have to go out and overtrade for someone? Let's see what he has. And he's realized, okay, he's good, but not starter good. Okay, then we go and make our move. We're going to see who's getting cut, who's on the verge of getting cut. Can we swoop in and make a trade for you real quick? Hey, what vets out there that we think will fit into our locker room and our offense? Go grab that guy. Run out there with this team that you have now, especially at receiver, and see what they can do. Because we don't know what kind of offense they're going to run. We know Arthur Smith likes to use tight ends, but remember, Freiermuth, Jonnu Smith can line up anywhere on that field.
If it was up to Arthur Smith, Mike, we'd have 11 tight ends on the offense.
Fuck yeah, brother. We're playing ultimate 1933 football, brother.
Maybe if you just turn your volume down just a hair. That's all I'm saying. Just turn it down a hair.
No. Okay, I will. But no, I'm just saying I want to see what kind of offense we are going to run. Because he's not totally scrapping his offense, but he's working with Aaron Rodgers. Hey, what do you like to run? This is what we like to run. We come from similar coaching trees, so let's design an offense, and then let's see what our receivers can do in that situation. Then you determine, okay, we're in training camp now. What can they do? What can't they do? We're seeing more and more. Oh, we like what we have. Guess what? We're going to run them out. Oh, it's not what we thought we had. Then you go and make your move. You got to give these guys a chance, at least in camp, to show if they can do it or not.
Mike, Tortilla says, does Mike Williams retiring make us feel better about not playing him? Maybe he was hurt. No, it doesn't make me feel better. It makes me feel like they just went out and pulled a cheap move to get the guy to keep everybody happy and shut people up. I wanted to see more out of the number 2. The guy came in his very first game, catches the game-winning touchdown over his shoulder against the Commanders. No, I'm not feeling better about it. It just kind of it showed me because why won't they just get a number 2 receiver? It's giving me anxiety. I mean, this is going on 2 seasons now. So no, it doesn't make me feel better. I want to get a guy. I want a guy that could play that position, the guy that's a starter quality, and yet we don't have him. Again, I think Calvin Austin's more of a slot guy with his size, and I would love to have a number 2 receiver. It would make me feel a lot better going into football season because, every team has a number 2 receiver. Let's move on, though. Waterboy says Calvin Austin can't be number 2, especially if DK goes down. How is he catch and block for runs? Not very good. He's a good slot. Exactly. This is what I'm saying. So we have to get another guy or move Jonnu to number 2. I think that's the more likely situation. I think Jonnu moving to number 2. And if that's the game plan, I don't know. It has never been confirmed if that be the case. But I feel the same way, guys. I would feel a little bit better if we had a number 2. That's all. People are going to say, well, this, well, that. I know, but I would just feel comfortable if we had a number 2 receiver, a starter. Call me crazy, right? Tortilla says we should play Ramsey like Travis Hunter, put Ramsey at wide receiver too. I was just reading this morning that he is focusing on playing more corner than safety. So what they do with that beyond this point, I don't know. But he said going into camp, he's focusing more on corner. And if they were going to use him at safety, you would think he would be focusing, putting obviously a whole different position change. And this could change, but he says he's leaning towards focusing more on cornerback.
Yeah, and Tomlin said all, Porter, Slay, and Ramsey, all 3 will be out there just about damn near every single play, whether they line up outside, inside. Yeah, so we'll see them all over the place.
Waterboy, we can't wait on signing a safety or wide receiver. Other teams are doing the same. We will lose out on a player if we aren't aggressive now, and it's going to be the same as it was last year and the year before with this number 2. I agree with you 100%, Waterboy. We have to do something. And at the end of the year, if we don't listen, if we fall a game short, let's say we're in the playoffs, second round, and it comes down to it, and we just can't get a guy wide open, or Calvin Austin's open in the back of the end zone, but the ball is slightly over his hand's reach. We're going to be saying, why couldn't we just had a number two? Somebody that was slightly, taller than Calvin Austin, who's a shrimp to begin with. So again, I just think that it would be, it would make sense. It would make sense to find that position. But again, Mike's saying, let's let Camp play a little bit. Let's see how the team looks. They're going to look at the guys and reassess and reevaluate everything. So it's not out of the question yet, Waterboy. The guys are still out there that we could possibly grab. I like two Pittsburgh guys. I think they could fill in the spots just well with a Tyler Boyd and with Jordan Whitehead to fill the two needs. And if you want to go bigger than that, then obviously you could look for bigger names. But I think that those two names could fill in just right at a hometown price. I would be a little bit more comfortable if we would pull something like this than not do anything. Mark Malone, I bet we only keep 3 tight ends this year. Yeah. Mike Gibbs, 6 wide receivers. Vegas saying Calvin tries hard to block, but 115 pounds only gets you that. That's what I'm saying. Say what you want. Slot him in number 2 as much as you want. It comes down to it. He's 115 pounds and he's not Tyreek Hill. And that's unfortunately that's the results I think you're going to get is 115 pounds and not being Tyreek Hill. RB says Tortilla be realistic. Travis Hunter will never be successful at the NFL if he doesn't choose a position. And then he follows it up by saying you have to master the ins and the outs of a single position to be successful at the NFL. You just don't walk out there and out talent warehouse workers and personal trainers. I know you're right too, man. Who knows what's going to happen with him. But the fact of the matter is, guys, in just 2 weeks and 2 days, we will be in Jacksonville playing the Jaguars in preseason. So if you get paid today, guys, next paycheck, it's on. It's on like Donkey Kong. We got camp. We just started today. Full swing. Isaac Siamalo, again, out with a non-football related injury. Hopefully it's nothing serious because the offensive line is going to be a big, big part of what goes on in the Steelers team this year, from the running game to the passing game, just to dictating the flow of the game. We gotta keep the ball longer. It's going to be possessions. Everything comes down to the interior line, and obviously this is something that the Steelers have focused on working on the past few years, getting a number one an offensive lineman as their first pick 2 of the last 3 years. So watching this team's offensive line is going to be another thing to pay attention to once the preseason games start. Guys, camp started today, full swing. The fellas showed up yesterday at camp. Derpy will be in the house next weekend, getting ready to, following the first whole week, we're going to have Derpy down at camp. We'll have him live right here. However, we're going to do that, Mike. I don't know if we're going to tape it or if we're going to go live while Derpy's down there. It's going to be on Saturday. So he will be down at camp next week. And then after that, Mike, it's only going to be 1 week away from the Jacksonville Jaguars hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers in Jacksonville in game 1. It's here, guys. It's football season. We can't say, Mike, we're waiting anymore. We have football from now to mid-February, NFL football, and then, of course, you have other football after that. But, Mike, it's on, baby.
It's on, brother. It's on like Donkey Kong. Football season is here. I'm happy. I'm ecstatic. I cannot wait. I'm just glad we get the Jacksonville game in the preseason down there, not during the regular season, kicking it off wearing our black unis in 90-degree heat with 500% humidity, brother.
And they used to do that to us every year.
I liked it. I hated it, but I respected it.
Well, it wasn't Jacksonville. It was the league. They gave it to us every year. They put us on when Jacksonville was in our division, the old AFC Central. We always got Jacksonville in September. It never failed. It never failed. That was the league's doing.
Yeah. In Jacksonville, though, they would choose to wear their light jerseys for home and make us wear our home darks on the away game.
Oh, that's that's
Tom Coughlin, like the old general, like fuck you, coward.
Great times, great rivalry between those two teams. Of course, back in the 90s. Very frustrating, I would have to say, because so many times they got in the way of us doing something special throughout the course of the season. We never had problems with them in the playoffs until later. But Jacksonville and Pittsburgh, a great 90s rivalry.
That rivalry, to me, was a better rivalry than the Steelers-Browns when the Browns came back. because we've owned them ever since they came back.
Oh, they're not a rivalry. Yeah, the new Browns is not a rivalry.
No, it's
name anything that would make this be a rivalry. The only thing that I would say that would make that a rivalry was when Smiles smashed in Rudy's head.
And they got that cheap playoff win because Marquise Pouncey forgot how to snap a football.
And you know what? They beat us. I don't think that's going to make it a rivalry.
No,
but I'm willing to concede.
But that's all they got. They have to hang their hat off. Well, we got a playoff win over you, and it's the most recent between the two of us. Like that's cool.
That's what I like about the Cleveland. I like how they moving around to fit them. Well, the most recent. Well, the past 25 games in a row that we kicked your ass in your own stadium. The fact that our quarterback is the best quarterback that's ever played in your stadium. The fact that you've never even won a playoff game in your stadium and you're getting a new stadium. I love the way the Browns fans they move things around and switch it around to make themselves sound good. When at the end of the day, they're the Browns. And you want to know how much of a shitty thing they have going on in Cleveland? That's right. They just revealed their new helmets yesterday, guys, and they have brown helmets as an alternative helmet, which is cool. I got to be honest with you. I like the color brown, but at the end of the day, it's just fitting that the Browns are getting brown helmets, and the guy that was taking pictures fell into the river.
That was great.
As they were revealing the brown. If you didn't see this footage, pull it up by all means.
Oh, dude. And then the fucking mascot thrown in the little life preserver. Just like, here you go. And they're Browns, sponsored by Dude Wipes. You look like a piece of shit, and then you're going to have a wipe be your sponsor. That's bit on the nose there, Cleveland, to let everyone know that you're pieces of shit.
So they revealed their brown helmets yesterday. And at the end of the day, I don't hate them. Matter of fact, I think they're better than orange. By a team being called the Browns and having everything orange, really is unsettling to me. But but again, it's just funny. Now they have brown helmets. It's funny. The guy falls in the river. Like I said, if you didn't see this video, pull it up. It's a few seconds. They're revealing the helmet. They're pulling the cloth off this big oversized helmet, and the guy taking the pictures literally steps right off the whatever what's that called, Mike? Like it
was a raft.
No, the thing they were standing on, that big wooden. I don't know, like a deck. They were on a deck. Yeah. And they were revealing this helmet, and as soon as they pulled the tarp off of it, the guy that was taking the pictures,
wharf,
just right off the side and into the water. Funny stuff. Couldn't have been a funnier thing to happen to a better team. Let's jump on the board, Mike. Vegas. I do want to say good morning to Vegas if I hadn't yet. Vegas. How you doing, Vegas? Always great seeing Vegas on the board. Vegas TJ says this is Derby at camp right now, riding around on his back to the future hoverboard.
Well, with his Superman cape, brother.
That Superman cape rippling in the wind back there. We could all see it. He is not, though. He will be down the end of next week. So keep your eye open. We'll certainly keep everybody posted when he goes down. Vegas says with Tom Coughlin, you're 15 minutes early or late.
I hate that mentality. Words have meaning. Early is early, late is late, on time is on time. I suffer from anxiety, so I'm 15 minutes early just because I have anxiety. Now you got to add that pressure to me, coach. Don't.
I like it.
I hate that. No, early is early, on time's on time, late is late.
I like it.
Words have meaning.
But a lot of times people don't listen to it. You got to, I know, but I like it. Mike doesn't like it.
No. If it's different, like if you get paid in when you punch in and get there, NFL players, that's a different thing. I understand that from coach. But I have people at old jobs try to tell me, you got to come in 5 minutes early. You paying me? No, then the fuck I don't, bitch.
I mean, these guys get paid millions of dollars
then you can show up early
for a period of time. So if I give you some $30 million for the next year, you better be there when I tell you. I mean, that's what it comes down to. It's a business. They're bosses. And again, I like it. It keeps people on their toes. And you know what? Things like that carry over to the field. If there's discipline in the locker room, there's discipline on the field. It's look at Bill Belichick's team.
I just hate that philosophy. If you're
that's because
early, you're on time, you're late. No, I'm on time. Coach, you said be here at 6:05.
Unless he says 15 minutes is late, then that wouldn't be on time. So
I just hate that.
I like it. So there you go. I like it. Yay! It's good. Let's see. Also, RB says, remember Jim Carrey? You remember that when they were opening up the new stadium?
Oh, that was so great. He said, jumping around.
Cleveland
show up in
rocks. Cleveland rocks.
Cleveland doesn't suck. Cleveland rocks. And they get their asses beat.
Vegas says, what the fuck is dude wipes?
Really, it's baby wipes marketed to dudes. Just renamed.
This is a
dude
thing?
Wipes. Yes.
Do you use dude wipes?
Oh, fuck no. I use whatever wipes my kid has. I smell like cocoa butter, baby.
Wait, you're the one that sits down when you wipe too, aren't you?
Yeah, you just lift up a cheek and wipe. You stand up and like put your leg up on the sink and get a. I get up in there.
I can't sit down and wipe. I have to stand up. I got to put my foot up on the sink and. How the hell you get back here? What are you doing?
You can get up in there, brother.
Oh,
then you get the bidet going.
I don't know. How do you get clean? I don't think you're clean if you do that.
Why do you think I use the fucking wipes, bro?
Why don't you stand up? Oh my god. But anyway.
No, then you get poo particles all throughout the house. At least in the.
Where are you standing up? No, if
you
stand up in front of the toilet.
No, that's not.
How do you get poop particles all around the house?
How are you getting poop particles all around the sink and stuff?
Yeah, because that's the bathroom. What are you doing? How do you get poop particles around your house?
That's how you get them.
Now you have to answer me the question because I answered you mine.
Thank you, RB.
Wait a minute.
RB's on my side.
That's fine. We're not talking RB right now. I need to know how you get poop particles around your house.
You get them around the.
Wait, stop! No, don't say me. Stop saying you. Tell me about Mike. How do you keep getting poop particles around your house?
I don't because I keep my ass really close to the toilet bowl when I wipe, and all the poop particles fall right.
You do this in public too?
I'm going to keep talking because my earpiece fell out and I can't hear you, so I'm just going to keep going.
Do you do this in public? Yeah. Like if you're in public, you sit down and wipe your ass.
Yeah, you go like this.
See, Waterboy got it.
All up in there.
Waterboy got it. Waterbeat says I'll put my foot on the sink. Exactly. I'm hitting the floor with the shit all over the place. I don't want to big dude. I just again. I don't know how you get poop particles all over the house.
I don't know. I was saying you get them all over the house by you putting your foot up.
I never leave the bathroom. What do you? I don't understand.
That's what I'm saying. They get all up in the atmosphere. Then you open the door and they're flying out all over the place. They get caught in the jet stream.
I've never heard, like, seriously, some of the people were agreeing. They're saying I've never seen people that stand up. I've literally never seen anybody sit down and wipe. But
you're the odd man, brother.
Well, obviously I'm not because I'm getting people that are saying they do as well. They
no
standing up.
No, I have never heard of anyone standing up to wipe.
Mike, I guarantee most people stand up to wipe.
No, the board is saying they all sit down.
One person says they sit down.
No, Art Barley's saying people stand up. Sticky B's saying I never heard of anyone standing up.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 people. You said the whole board.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's all I'm seeing right now because they're on my side.
Okay.
No offense, Waterboy.
Nobody sits down and wipes. I don't get it.
We're putting up a poll tomorrow.
I'm not putting up a poll. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to take my camera into my bathroom. You take your camera down into your bathroom, and I say we shit and wipe and get results.
No, God, no.
We have the results right here on the show.
Over on the Patreon.
I don't know. I'm just blown away by this. Well, hold on. We have to get caught up. You can't keep.
I'm sorry, brother.
All right, here we go.
The barge. You got me talking about white.
Thank you, Bart. RB.
Yeah, I couldn't think
barge.
Wharf. You got it, brother.
You called it a wharf.
I thought it was on the wooden thing, but it was a barge.
Were you sitting down and wiping when you sit? All right, let me see. Vegas says they don't suck, they swallow. Derpy sits down to piss. Yeah, now that's true. See, women wipe sitting down. Women, they just reach their hand through their leg and they do the wipe thing. Guys don't do that. We got balls and shit that hang there. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't know how you do it. I mean, you would, especially with your T-Rex arms, Mike. I don't know how you get back there.
I'm flexible, brother.
I don't know.
Why do you think the lot lizards like me? I'm flexible.
Got to get it today. Yeah, that's what we need.
Bidet's where it's at, brother. Those things are life changing.
I mean, you guys being seriously? Nobody stands up when they wipe. I just don't get this. I've never seen different. I don't know different. RB says you lean to the side and wipe. It's way cleaner. And then you got to kind of pull. I don't know. You have to kind of pull your ass cheek out, and again, it seems like there's a lot that has to go on. Like you pull that side of the ass cheek out, and then I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't get it. You stand up, put toilet paper in your ass, and wipe. How difficult is that? T Vegas says Vanilla Thunder pulls out the dude wipes. That's when you know his finishing move is about to happen. 2025 version of Stink Face.
We call that the old brown eye, brother.
Well, I guarantee old Stink Face, he wiped his ass. I mean, you know, I wouldn't want to Stink Face my Mike because I don't know I don't know what's going on back there.
Oh, I'm clean, brother. Clean as a whistle.
Sticky B start a pull.
You know what's great about toilet paper? You keep wiping and it turns red. That's when you know you're done.
Oh. See, I have a whole procedure when I shit. I like for the lights to be off. Do you take your shirt off when you shit?
No. Oh, wait. If I know it's going to be a battle, you got to go and prepare for it. You got to take that shirt off.
Take your shirt off. I turn the lights off. I got to be comfortable.
The lights off? How do you know you're done if you can't see the toilet paper, brother?
I don't wipe with the lights off. I have the lights off, and then whenever I'm
done,
so
you use your poo hand to turn it on?
Yeah, because it's my bathroom. Nobody else uses my bathroom.
That's true.
So if there's poo particles, if there's poo on my lights, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Right then, you breathe in your poo particles. Maybe that's why you're never sick, brother.
Maybe that's why I'm never sick. You're right. I have the immune system of a bull. Waterboy said there's a seat for a reason, boys. Shitting and squatting. Rick Ramirez, welcome to the board, sir. Great to have you. He says, get side by side toilets.
No divider, brother. We'll stare at lock eyes. Lock eyes.
RB says I'm 6'5", 235, and it's much easier to clean and to lean and wipe standing up. Smear shit in your booty cheeks, but you could really maneuver it around if you're standing. I mean, if you're sitting, there's only one. You know, you're just sitting and you got to get back there. If I'm standing, I got my right foot on the sink. I got my left foot on the side of the tub. I got you know, there's more options. Vegas says, so wait, you take a dump and stand up? And yes. I've never not done that in my life. Boy, this is a wake up. This is
eye-opening, brother, forever.
It really is. I'm loving it. I'm learning something again. I've never ever wiped while sitting. I do have a sticky pieces of a moon candle.
Right. What Ryan does, he gets a nice wide base. He looks fine in the mirror. He bends over, looks in the mirror, and scoops it out.
I do. I have a whole system. I sit down. I have to evenly distribute my ass crack over the seat. It can't be more one side to the other. It has to be center of the fucking toilet.
You got a protractor?
Yeah. RB says when you lean, it's a natural spread. See, I don't get that. Maybe because I'm not 6'5" and 235 or Mike's size. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe bigger people just need to I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. I gotta be honest with you. Tortilla says got my Taco Bell and come back to talk poop. That's right, baby. I love it. Tortilla got his Taco Bell. RB says I have Crohn's, so it's never a battle. Waterboy says it's funny how we started talking Browns and shit comes up. Ain't that the truth? It's a natural progression. Oh, look at that. And look, follow Vegas says it's natural. It's natural, Waterboy. Vegas, Cleveland is French for ad. ASD. Okay, ass. Yeah, okay, there it is.
It took Tortilla forever to get you there. Then it took forever for you to get there. Oh, my God.
Richard, what's up, brother? Always great seeing Richard on the board. Welcome back to this lovely camp opening day. Richard says, dig. There's no genie in a brown bottle. And Waterboy says, Ron, the proper way is to sitting and leaning because fecal matter flies when wiping. And if you're on the toilet, it generally, that's the thing. I don't want my outer ass cheeks to be covered with shit. I would rather the bathroom have fecal matter floating awry than have my ass catch it all. You see what I'm saying? I go back to my real world after this, and I don't want my butt cheeks covered with fecal particle. But when I'm done, I flush, I shut the door, I wash my hands, and I go back to my world. Whatever goes on in there, that's bathroom stuff. Is what I'm saying. When I go back in the world, I don't want fecal microisms on my ass.
All I gotta say, brothers,
You know how when you sit down and you have that sit down air, like when you sit down next to somebody and they have bad sit down air, like they're underneath air that comes from underneath. That's where they get that bad sit down air. I bet you any money because they still have fecal matter in their ass. Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna say, where else are you gonna find this type of football coverage?
Hey,
this, you know what? This beats the same old you're gonna find out on any other Steeler network. You come here, you get the real talk, brothers.
Yeah, dude, sitting lean. That's what Mark's saying. That's why you shower. Well, it is only July, so I mean that kind of debunks that. If it was August, I could argue that it was shower time. Mark Malone, keep that sheet in the toilet. Kenneth, you know what? Before I read Kenneth's comment, I'm going to say real quick whatever Kenneth says, and I don't think it has to do with poop, but I'm going to say whatever he says, I'm going to respect because Kenneth is always right on point. Kenneth, he says we'll be able to switch schemes with our mixture of personnel according to the teams and we play. So okay, it wasn't about poop. I was gonna really take what Kenneth said and ran with it, but he went with football. So there you go. Let's get back to football, guys. Mark Malone says you don't go from the front. Back to front, Mike.
Back to the left.
Phil says I sing come out, Mr. Poop. He sings to his poop. So there you go, guys.
I'm not gonna lie. I was in a public restroom once and I heard this. I'm in there taking a go to old Cleveland steamer. And this dude comes walking in, pissing in the stall, goes, gotta pee, gotta pee, gotta pee, gotta get it out, gotta pee. I'm like, what the fuck? I get out of the stall. It's an 80-year-old man talking to him and his prostate. I thought this was a safe space to share that story.
Sticky B said this conversation is more exciting than the Browns season will be.
The hell yeah, it is.
This is the Browns season. We're still talking about Browns football, guys. Waterboy says, oh, I thought we were Browns YouTube channel. Dang it. And RB says, this discussion unfortunately reminded me shit's Tucson. Fuck that guy. Mike, you were talking about that old guy. I just want to tell you real quick about I don't know who it is, but somewhere right around an hour before the show starts, I hear a young boy barking somewhere in this neighborhood, somewhere outside for about 15 minutes. Today was 14, but it's usually right around 15 minutes. I don't know who it is, but for about 15 minutes, this kid barks. It's not a dog. It's a boy. So
I just hope it's not Little Thunder running around barking like a dog.
No, it's not him. It's somebody else.
If he turns out to be a Browns fan, I might have to disown his
somebody
ass.
that isn't here within our
That's wild.
Yeah, I don't know who it is, but
I'm not gonna lie. I was in elementary school with a kid, and he barked like a dog all the time.
Yeah,
wild.
But guys, the Steelers camp kicked off today. As I said, the scoop that we have to this point is Isaac Seumalo, starting guard for the Pittsburgh Steelers, is out. He's out with a non-football injury. Big news around the league. Justin Fields, the former Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback, is out. Dislocated his big A2 on his right foot on the very first play of 11 on 11s. Former Steelers, Artie Burns, blows out an ACL in the first week of camp. Devin Bush arraigned for his alleged assault. A lot of fights going on in Dallas. George Pickens leaves practice early. Deontay Johnson leaves Cleveland Browns practice early. And again, the big Justin Fields injury, guys. So, Mike, we were saying we don't need the injury bug this year. I think that's the thing that hurts this team the most. Our biggest competition this season, in my opinion, is the injury bug. The longer we could avoid it, to a larger degree. Maybe if you lose a guy here, a small guy there, Parham early. Again, I'm never going to miss Parham because so staying healthy, I think, is key this year, Mike. The offensive line is key this year. And the quarterback, of course, is key this year. A lot of things, guys, we're going to learn. Steelers, Jaguars, 2 weeks and 2 days. Next week on Thursday night, Mike, the Detroit Lions takes on the LA Chargers. So it won't be long. We got football coming. Camp starts officially today as the Steelers and the Atlanta Falcons are the last two teams to kick off training camp. They both start today, guys. It's on like Donkey Kong, everybody. We're here. We're locked in all the way up until February at least. So Mike, I can't tell you how truly excited I really am to get this show on the road.
Me too, man. I cannot wait for some Steelers football. I just want to see people hit each other.
RB says, what happened to that Miami guy? Life flighted? Was it because of Colbert vaccine dance? Anything? I don't know. I'm Mike, Miami guy.
No idea.
Okay. I'm not sure, RB. I am not sure, sir. Sticky B says RAP Hulk Hogan. Dang, a lot of people going down recently. Hopefully, Sticky B, that it was number 3, and that will be the last for a while. Again, Theo, Huxtable, Mike, Malcolm Jamal Warner from The Cosby Show, Ozzy Osbourne, and then again this morning, Terry Bollea, a.k.a. Hulk Hogan, because all
Hulk
passed away this
Hogan,
week.
once again, the third man.
Yeah. Waterboy, Fields has a toe injury, too early to determine severity.
Yeah, the only thing I saw on the field saying it's like it's not the big toe. That they know for sure.
It's not the big toe?
It's not the big toe, so you got 8 others to choose from.
So you got 80% on the other toes. Hulkamania dies. Yeah, he died just as we were starting the show, Phil. Hulk Hogan passed away this morning. So that all sucks, man. A lot of good people. Again, I haven't seen Theo for quite some time. I think he was involved with things. Ozzy, again, I thought he was dead 22 years ago when he was doing the Osbourne show, and they were just weekend burning his ass around. Mike, he's had one foot in the grave for a couple decades now. Not surprised, but nonetheless, it still sucks. And finally, Mike, the newest one this morning was Hulk Hogan, a true wrestling icon.
Yeah, he was, man. The might not be the best wrestler ever, but he made probably the most money ever out of wrestling, and that's all that matters in the biz.
Hulk Hogan in the 80s was the Rock of the 90s and the John Cena's of the 2000s. He was the face. No two ways about it, guys. Hulk Hogan passes away this morning. Mike, let me run through a couple of things here real quick. The Pirates, they end up sweeping the best team in baseball when they beat the Tigers yesterday after getting swept by the worst team in the American League just a series before. Has it been done before, Mike?
1980?
1980. Again,
I think
this is one of the more fascinating baseball teams in baseball. Say what you will. They might not be great. You might not be watching it for baseball, but I'm going to be honest. This team will set 10 to 15 records every year. The strangest, oddest records you'll ever see. I don't know how they do it. I don't know why they do it, but they continue this like every year. Again, losing 3 straight to the worst team in the American League and coming out the following series and then winning 3 straight against the best team in all of baseball. It doesn't make sense, but this is the Pittsburgh Pirates. This is what they do. This at this point, Mike, is what makes this team special.
Yeah, this is Bucko baseball in a nutshell, baby. We can be the worst team or we can be the best team in baseball.
They are off today, Mike, because they do start a series at home against the Diamondbacks tomorrow. That goes through the weekend. Game 1 is tomorrow. Game 1 of 3, 640. The Pirates come in with a 42-61 record. The Diamondbacks come in with a 50-53 record. Couple things. Ben Sherrington says that's only listen. He says that's our focus right now, guys, is to make sure that the 2026 team and beyond is better if they do start talking trades. Mike, of course, the trade deadline comes up here within the next week. He says that is our only focus, is looking to make the Pirates better in 26 and beyond if we do hit the trade market. So,
yeah, this season is done in the books.
Next season is done and in the books. The season after is done and in the books. Have we watched the Pirates for the past 40 years?
As long as we got this own, hey, they had 3 good years. Everyone forgets about that.
They're already eliminated from the 2027 playoffs. I don't know how they do it.
That's Mike, talent, brother.
But Spencer Horwitz does hit a grand slam yesterday to take out the Tigers, Mike, in 3 out of 3. Unbelievable. I wouldn't have a million years guessed that they would have swept the Tigers, especially after getting swept by the White Sox. Andrew McCutchen does pass Willie Stargell with all-time hits. Some people might think that he is a nostalgia act, Mike, but I think that Andrew McCutchen is just as good as he's always been. And again, if you're passing the greats, that means that, yes, you are older, but you've been there long enough and you're passing what every other great Pirate has done before you. So again, idiot boy up here says nothing. He says the Kutch is nothing more than a nostalgia act, a mascot, a pierogi in uniform, and a bobblehead come to life. Again, another one of his dumb dumb comments to get people to watch his show, listen to his show. Andrew McCutcheon, play as long as you want, brother. Anybody else, they can play and be this and that, but Andrew McCutcheon, he's the bobblehead. He's the uniform, pierogi uniform. The guy's a moron, Mike.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
Yeah. Mike, why don't you go and tell everybody about the website?
The2dumbyinzers.com. Check it out, everyone. Anyone new here, really check it out. All of our links to all of our social medias over there. Got our merch store. And we got the dumb thoughts over at the2dumbyinzers.com.
Go check it out, everybody. www.the2dumbyinzers.com. That's www.the2dumbyinzers.com. Real quick on the board, RB says this pirate should just trade Skeens now before something happens and devalues him. The only problem with that is he just keeps getting better. I think his value continues to rise. As bad as this team is, and his, you obviously know his record isn't going up because nobody's hitting on days that he pitches, but he's getting better. His ERA keeps going down. I just think the guy is such an amazing player, and I'm sure whatever they do will ultimately screw the Pirates and whatever they do with him down the road. So I'm not really getting hung up on it. I'm going to be honest with you. I just came to the understanding that they're going to stink all the time.
They are god awful organization.
RB also says Hulk Hogan NWO Hill was the biggest moment in wrestling history. I agree. I couldn't agree more. I thought the NWO moments was some of the best ever. The NWO days was some of the best ever in pro wrestling, and especially because it was such a head to head with WWF at the time. And then that NWO comes along and just blows them out of the water. Sting coming from rafters. They was doing something really good at that period of time for sure. No
83 weeks, brother. 83 weeks. They were the number one program.
Waterboy says, "Is it McCutcheon's middle name Stargell?" I don't know.
I don't know.
I've never heard of that. If it is, Mike, put on your thinking cap. Everybody on the board. Everybody at home. Here we go. Time for question of the day. We all know that Mel Blount is the all-time Steelers interception leader with 57 interceptions in his time played at Pittsburgh. Mike, can you tell me either number 2 or number 3? I only need one of them on the all-time interception list by Steelers. We all know Mel Blount is number 1 all-time. He has 57. Are you able to tell me who number 2 or number 3 is all-time on the Steelers all-time interception list? Take a moment to think that over, guys. We're live 5 days a week right here. Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every day right here on YouTube. Question of the day, guys. Everybody knows Mel Blount is number 1 on the Pittsburgh Steelers interception list. He's the leader all time. He has 57. The question of the day, can you tell me who's either number 2 or number 3? Just one of them is just fine. To know the answer, guys, Field of Steel on the board is saying Rod Woodson right off the top. In a Steeler uniform. Guys. I'm looking for who either number 2 or number 3 is all time. Number 1, of course, being Mel Blount. Mike, any guesses? RB saying Deshae Townsend, Willie Gay.
Ooh. I know Rod is up there all time in NFL, and he had a lot of interceptions with the Ravens and the 49ers.
That's why I specified that. In a Steeler uniform.
But he had a lot in the Steelers uniform as well.
Right.
I know Big Play Willie Gay had talented ones. Little Deshae had some good ones. Chad Scott had some big. We know it's not Ike Taylor.
Phil says, I can see you Googling through your shades.
I was Googling the middle name of Andrew McCutcheon.
What is it? Is it Stargell? Stephen.
Let's go with Troy Polamalu.
Polamalu? Number 2 or number 3 all time on the interceptions list. All right. Is that your final answer?
You can go TP. You can go Troy.
All right. I'm going to lock you in, Mike. You were being locked in on Troy Polamalu. Phil saying Rod Woodson. RB saying Deshae Townsend, Willie Gay. The answer is, the question is, we all know that Mel Blount is the all-time interception leader for the Steelers. He has 57 all time. The question of the day is, can you name number 2 or number 3 on this list? Mike says Troy Polamalu. A few different answers on the board, guys. The correct answer is number 1 on the list, Mel Blount, 57 interceptions. Number 2 with 52 interceptions, Jack Butler, number 2. And with 51 overall interceptions in the Steeler uniform, guys, number 3 overall, Donnie Shell.
Donnie Shell.
Yep.
Undrafted, finally made the Hall of Fame. This was when the draft was 12 rounds long. And he was a key part, underrated part of those 70 teams.
Chad said Troy Polamalu as well. So there you go, guys. Number 1, Mel Blount with 57. Number 2 with 52 interceptions, Jack Butler. Number 3 with 51 interceptions overall, all time in a Steeler uniform. Yes, Mike, Rod Woodson were other uniforms as well. Otherwise, it would be different. Donnie Shell with 51 is number 3 all time. So there you go, guys. Football camp, Steeler camp is back at it today, full swing. We'll keep you updated. We're gonna, stay on this as much as everybody else. I'm sure everybody else is really excited about camp getting started and the season getting underway. We will keep on top of everything. We'll be back tomorrow at our regular time to go over everything that we learned, injuries, updates, who's looking good, who's not looking good, any scoop that we may get. But tomorrow, Mike, we wrap up the show, and again, only a week away from sending Derpy up to camp. That's going to be a lot of fun. See some guys on the board. They're heading up next week, Mike. So it's here. It's fun. 2 weeks and 2 days will be a game. We'll be watching the Pittsburgh Steelers in their uniforms in Jacksonville. Just 2 weeks and 2 days, guys. 2 weeks from this Saturday. Coming up next week, again, Detroit and the Chargers. Thursday night. It's so here, man. I'm so fired up. I know everybody else is fired up. Mike, anything before we do start getting ready to wrap things up for today?
I got nothing other than thank you, everyone, for tuning in today. It was fun. Appreciate it.
Again, guys, we lose Hulk Hogan this morning. We lost Hulk Hogan while on this morning. Unfortunately, that's 3 this week. Hopefully, Mike, 3 is going to be it for now. At least until we can get our death pool picks in.
Exactly. Stop dying, people.
I could have certainly picked one of these guys. I wouldn't have picked Theo, but I could have certainly picked one of the other 2. This being possible next death. So I don't know. Next time we see Finch, hopefully sooner than later, we'll get the next death pool up. I don't want to lose out anymore. Mike, I can't. I won't.
You've been close.
I've been close. Let me just double check, make sure that I got everything here, Mike. Nothing that I did forget. I do want to say thank you, everybody, for tuning in and coming hang out with us today. We certainly appreciate each and every one of you. We wouldn't do it without you. Thank you so much. I do want to say thank you to everybody on the board. You guys always keep things interesting, especially I'm learning every day, too, from the board. Mike, again, I'm the weird one because I stand when I wipe.
You are?
Mind blown. And everybody at home, maybe here in the car, maybe you're at the gym, maybe you're just taking a walk with your earbuds in. Thank you, too, guys. Thank you to everybody. We'll be back tomorrow at our regular time to do it all over again. Get ready to wrap things up for the weekend, Mike, and also hit hard on the camp trail. Find out what's going on up at St. Vincent. We'll keep you updated on everything from there and around the league, Mike. Before you, if you haven't had a chance to swing over, check any of our social media pages out. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Threads, anywhere you could go ahead and check us out on social media. Hit the follow, hit the like, all the kind of fun stuff. Also, if you haven't yet here today, hit the like button and the subscribe button. It helps us out. We do appreciate everybody for coming and hanging out. We truly, honestly do. Mike, anything now. Speak now or forever hold your peace, man.
R.I.P., brother.
Yeah, man. Unfortunate. And you know what I thought, too? These people that lived like 100, everybody you know in life dies around you. Like everybody you've ever known, the older you live, they all die.
That's why it's better to burn out than fade away, brother.
Just such a weird thing to think about.
That's why I'm going to leave a young, pretty corpse.
You know what I mean? Everybody you know. If you become like 100 years old, everybody you know dies.
Mm-hmm.
What a way to end the show, guys. But hey, we will be back with all the scoop first thing tomorrow at our regular time right here in Pittsburgh Steelers training camp in Latrobe. Guys, we do want to thank you. Mike, you good?
I'm good, brother.
All right. So for Mike in Central Mobile Studio, myself, the 2 Dumb Yinzers, everybody have a great Thursday. Keep cool. It is getting hot again back